Alright, hey guys, On The Gamer here, and today I'm doing another collection video, but today I'm doing a collection video that's kind of the first of its kind, and I say that because I just had a look quickly onto YouTube right before I started recording this, and I couldn't find anyone else that did a collection video on solely just snowboarding games. I couldn't find any on YouTube. So this video, I'm pretty sure, is the first one, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be showing off my entire snowboarding game collection. You know, I'm mainly doing this because, well, you know, it's December, you know, Christmas time's coming up, and that obviously means that, you know, we're getting into winter now. It's going to start getting really cold, and, you know, eventually it's going to start getting to the point where it starts snowing. It hasn't started snowing in the UK or anything. I don't know about America or any other countries, but in the UK, especially like around where I live, it very rarely, if ever, snows in December. Usually if we do get snow, it usually doesn't happen until like February or March. It's really weird. And it's not as deep as, you know, the snow that like America gets or anything. But yeah, but because it's December, you know, and it's the chilly season, I decided why not show off, you know, my snowboarding game collection, because snowboarding is obviously a winter sport. So as you can see here, I mainly have the most like well-known snowboarding franchises. You know, we got Cool Boarders right there, we got SSX, we got Amped, and we got like two others which are just like one-offs. You know, Sean White and Sean Palmer. You know, it's a shame they don't make snowboarding games anymore, because, you know, like back in the PS1, PS2 era, you know, extreme sports games were everywhere, and, you know, and they were honestly some of the best games of, you know, of that time period. Some of my favourite games of all time are actually extreme sports games. In fact, one of the games in this pile is actually one of my all-time favourite games. But we'll get to that in a moment. So yeah, so I'm going to go through each of the games one by one, and yeah, and we'll just go from there. Alright, so starting things off with Cool Boarders. Now, Cool Boarders is a long dead franchise at this point. In fact, the Cool Boarders series hasn't had a new entry in about 20 years. Yeah, the last one that came out was this one back in 2000. There hasn't been a new Cool Boarders since, which is such a shame, because even though these games, like, yeah, sure, you play them now, they're extremely dated, they're still extremely fun, you know? I mean, they're like basically racing games with snowboards, and you also get like these little like half-pipe competition bits in between races. It's just, oh my god. I think Cool Boarders is personally really underrated. But anyway, here we have the first Cool Boarders on the original PlayStation. As you can see, this came out back in 1996. Yeah, making this one of the very first 3D extreme sports games. And yeah, it definitely shows. If you play this today, good god, it definitely shows its age. But it's still a lot of fun, despite how, you know, dated it is. Got the disc right there and the manual. Got Cool Boarders 2 right here. This is the platinum version of Cool Boarders 2. I've had this for a really long time. I mean, I remember buying this at Blockbuster. Yeah, that's how long ago it was. I bought this at Blockbuster. Not like back in the 90s or anything, but back in like, I would say 2011, 2012 maybe, when I bought this. But there's a random P on the disc for some reason. I don't know what that's about. In my opinion, that's probably the best game in the whole Cool Boarders series. I love the soundtrack in the game, especially. Next we got Cool Boarders 3. This one was not as good as Cool Boarders 1 and 2. This was the one that changed developer. The first two games was developed by a Japanese company called Web Systems, and Cool Boarders 3 and 4 were developed by Idle Mind, which was an American company. They weren't bad games to say, but they just weren't as fun, and they just lacked the charm of you know, the first two games. But yeah, it's complete. I think most of these games actually are complete, but I'll still, you know, go through, you know, and show the disc and manual for each one. Cool Boarders 4 is once again the platinum version. I think I only bought the platinum version of this just because I had the platinum version of Cool Boarders 2 and 3. I usually try to get the standard edition versions of my games, but I do own a few platinum releases for PS1 and 2. Not many, but I do have a few. Yeah, that's complete. And then this one is a special one, Cool Boarders Code Alien for the PS2. This one is actually a Japanese game. Yeah, I don't know if you can see at the top, but it says NTSCJ there. So this is a Japanese only Cool Borders game, and yeah, and it's actually really good. I mean, it still has the same like awkward control scheme from the first two games where you have to use like the shoulder buttons and stuff, but it is complete. But yeah, like it's still really solid game, and this was actually made by Web Systems, the original developers of Cool Borders 1 and 2. But I want to do an import game collection video and show off all like my like Japanese and American games that I own, because I do own a few Japanese and North American games. So I'd like to do a collection video on those at some point. Next we have SSX, probably the most well-known snowboarding series. Back in the PS2, original Xbox and GameCube era. I've only got the PS2 games. I don't own like the Wii game, SSX Blur, I think it was called, and I don't own the 2012 reboot either. I would like to get those at some point, but at the moment I just have all the PS2 games. So starting off, got the original SSX here for the PS2. Came out in 2000 as a launch title. Never really got too into SSX actually. The disc is the platinum version for some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, they are fun games. They're basically kind of like Cool Borders, the same sort of like you know, like racing and stuff with tricks. It's the same sort of concept as Cool Borders, but I just never really got into it as much as Cool Borders. I don't know why. Here we have SSX Tricky, probably the fan favorite of the series. Really good soundtrack in this, you know. Main theme song is It's Tricky by Run DMC. There it is, right there. And then we got SSX Free. See. Yeah, never really got too into these games. And here we got SSX on Tour. Okay, I kind of messed these up a bit, but alright, next we have the Amped series. Amped was an Xbox exclusive series. It only had 3 entries, 2 on the original Xbox and 1 on the 360, but these games were actually really good. The first 2 Amped games were basically like sort of simulation style snowboarding games. They were kind of the closest thing to like, you know, kind of like a snowboarding version of Skate, but they weren't like too realistic, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how to describe them. I haven't really played them in years, but and Amped 3 like was just borderline in insanity. Amped 3 was just, oh my god. Amped 3 had like a storyline and stuff, and it just was completely out of control. The tone of that game is ridiculous. And then we've got these 2 one-off snowboarding games that never got sequels. Shaun White Snowboarding for the Xbox 60 and Sean Palmer's Pro Snowboarder for the PS2, which almost had a sequel, but unfortunately it was cancelled, which is a shame because this is one of my all-time favourite games. I absolutely love that game. It's basically like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but with, you know, snowboards. Alright guys, so that was it. That was my entire snowboarding game collection. There's still more games I would like to get. I'd still like to get, you know, the 2 SSX games that I'm missing, Blur and the 2012 reboot. I'd also like to get Steep as well for the PS4, which isn't necessarily a snowboarding game, but it does have snowboarding in it, you know, as well as like skiing and stuff. I'd also like to get Cool Borders 2001 for the PS2, and I would also like to get Sean Palmer's Pro Snowboarder for the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color, because I love that game so much. I need to have all the versions of it, you know. But yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments, like, out of all these games right here, which one's your favorite. Also let me know if you've played this one, if you played Cool Borders Code Alien, because that's a really obscure Japanese only game. So let me know if you've actually played that. Yeah, let me know which one's your favorite. Let me know if you've played Code Alien, and let me know what snowboarding games you own in the comment section. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, and peace, and Merry early Christmas, I guess.